Hello, everyone. Welcome to the final week for these two, at least, in Division 3. We are in our decider and relegation matchups time after the regular season here, and we've got a great one in Division 3 here between Closed247 and Max FI. My name is Atomo, and I'm joined, as always, by Calamity. How are you doing today?
Hello. Exhausted from a long season, but otherwise okay.
Yeah, you've woken up yet?
No.
Well, we'll see what these two can do to wake you up, giving you an exciting game to watch as we take a look at their stats here. Average points, best games, very close, but aces, Max has a huge advantage.
Yeah, Max has by far the most aces in Division 3. He just hasn't had too much to show for it. In 4th place, just snuck in there on the last day of the regular season. Getting a bit lucky there that Freckles lost his last game, because otherwise he would have been only 5th with that. But he did make it there, and now he still has another chance to get promoted.
Very nice. Yeah, it's worth mentioning that both of these players were in Division 4 last season. So along with Patriots FTW, who's already got an automatic promotion spot out of Division 3, these three of them have really excelled in their new home and are looking to trade it for even better, greener pastures in Division 2 in back-to-back seasons with promotion for that. But yeah, other than that, pretty similar seasons. Their ways of getting there, Closed only losing 3 matches with Max's 4. But other than that, a pretty close season for both of them in this spot. Well, the map we've got for you here is AI-generated world by Rolling Hill. Average score just under 14,000, 80,000 locations, and has been played almost 40,000 times. So if you want to know the details about this map, check it out in Geoguessr. There is a link to an Excel sheet that has plenty of information about how the countries are distributed. But again, like most AI maps, Calamity, big countries get lots of locations, small countries don't. So we'll see what kind of seeds we get here. Anybody you favor going into this on a world map?
Not necessarily. I think they're both relatively close, and it might depend on locations, might depend on their form. We'll see. Closed had a bit of a shaky form towards the end of the season because he couldn't practice that much, but that shouldn't come into play as much on a world map. So we'll see.
We'll see indeed. As we'll get ready to jump into round number 1 here. And we start off, sure enough, long empty highway, but a bit of an overpass.
At least it's a highway.
And yeah, at least it's a highway. True. There were some Mediterranean looking signs there. Spain or France, perhaps. That's all about all I could really tell. I didn't see any language.
Or, Indonesia. Or Malaysia, in this case.
Well, there we go. Malaysia, never mind. But I guess they can have those similar looking signs other places. Very, very good sign for Max FI. There are some towns and directions. I just saw a round sign with a little yellow sign underneath it, and I'm like, that seems like I saw those in France and Spain the other day. But not quite. Other end of the world. And this one. And plenty of good signs, actually. Not too far from the starting location.
I'm surprised Max even went further than the sign he already saw. I mean, this is the same sign, so I don't know why he prefers this one over the other one. But he's got everything he needs to get a good score here.
Yeah. Cities at opposite ends. Few road numbers. Closed is more fixated on this little pillar that does have distances to some towns, and he's looking for those. He hasn't found them yet. Just under 2.5 minutes to go.
Do you remember if Closed walked north or south from the start?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I believe they both headed sort of in the same direction, but then Closed hasn't really moved as far as Max has. So they both saw that sign that I mistake for European. So they at least started in the same direction.
Yeah.
I think Close would do well to spend some time traveling further down the
Oh,
road,
he's
but
found one of the cities there.
yeah, he's actually managed to zoom in. 4 minutes is a bit of a generous time in competitive GeoGuessr, so yeah, and again, Max liking to see every sign he can possibly see, even if he doesn't need them. Definitely makes him feel a bit more comfortable with his pinpointing, perhaps.
Yeah, I'm not sure what information other signs are really going to give him at this point, though.
He's actually on the wrong island right
Yeah.
now.
He's got the road name there.
And that will slowly help him narrow himself down with just about a minute to go now. Close, on the other hand, has used his little pillar. Find a very nice location. He's not too far away. Looking for some of these smaller towns. One that's only 25 kilometers away.
Max has finally found himself in the right province.
There we go. And there are the road names. Oh, nice. There we go. Close headed south and is searching on the map. Now he's going to start to scroll north. And Max using those road numbers and all those different village names to his advantage. But again, searching towards the west. I'm going to find those names. Yeah, closed in the right area a lot faster, but after that, they've both kind of stalled. Information, but not really sure where all this stuff is. And with time running out, they're not going to find it. And it will be Closed who gets the slightly better advantage, 4,849 to Max's 4,735 points there.
Yeah, both of them not particularly close, but at least not too much points up and down regarding to the respective other. Just 114 points between them. Yeah, just didn't really do much with the information they had. Closed, admittedly, didn't have all that much. Just relied on the cities there. Max, yeah, he had everything he needed, but just a bit too late, maybe realizing what it meant.
A bit of a shaky start there for Max. As we saw on his stat screen, very, very good number of aces in the regular season. So given how much information he had, we would have expected something closer to an ace, but we didn't. And we'll jump into round number 2 and see if they can do any better. And we're not on a major road this time. Gravel road, cloudy skies.
Baltics. Yeah, and usually 4 minutes is enough time to find out where you are, pretty much regardless of where you are in the Baltics. You kind of have to be really unlucky to spawn in a spot where you can't. So we'll see if the two can manage.
There's a sign. Unfortunately, it gets blurred out for Close as he tries to approach it. He'll jump back to start and head north. Max heading south, at least for the meantime. Turned around and found an intersection. Again, a sign not able to really read. We're in the Baltics.
Yep.
Now, I've had this drilled into me by you and others that when you think it might be Finland, if it's flat, it's not. So
well, when you know it's in the Baltics, then it's not Finland.
I mean, in terms of like the language, I can never like Latvia and Estonia and kind of Finnish. Like I have a hard time still distinguishing all of them.
Yeah, Latvia and Lithuania are kind of similar, and are nothing like Estonia and Finnish, which are kind of similar again.
I guess Finnish and Estonian have that, like those double vowels things going on.
Either way, this is Latvia.
Appear to be in Latvia.
No chance to mistake it for Finland.
Both of them in the right country, looking for some village. I think they both actually just they saw something. They dropped their pins, so I'm not sure what that was. They, of course, have bigger screens. I think they both are almost the exact same village, which made me think that they...
They've both got more than enough information to pinpoint this.
Yeah.
Maybe Max the slightly better things because I think the distances were closer on his signs. I just saw most of the signs close to I thought were like 20, 30 kilometers away. And Max has at least one thing that's only 7 kilometers away. And he's also got a river name there, which he might be able to find on a map. I'm not sure.
Backtracking a little bit, try to find some of those other roads and village names. They might be close, and Max does seem to be honing in on it with just about a minute left to go. Close in the same general area. They did find a little village name to help them out. But beyond that, a little bit left. I think they both went and looked at this exit sign to try to figure out where they might exactly be, and Max has been the better off with it so far. Close a little bit too far zoomed out to probably see it. Zoom in. There, is that it?
I can't read it, so I couldn't tell you.
No.
There we go. I could read that one on Max's screen.
30 seconds left there. Looking their way. Max moved his pin again. Not quite confident in his earlier location. Moves it back. Can't make up his mind. He's only got about 10 more seconds left to try to make up his mind and as well go back to the start. Closed does do that. Tries to see directionality of the road, what might fit. And time will run out for both of them, and it will be closed with a little advantage here. 4,999 points for him, and 4,966 points for Max. So closed again, picking up a little bit more of an advantage again. Calamity.
Yeah, again, Max had all the information that he needed at his disposal, but couldn't quite figure out where exactly it was. And Close doing, again, a bit of a better job here.
Yeah, so his lead creeps ever greater as we'll get ourselves set up and into round number 3. 9,701 points for Max, 9,848 for Closed. And very interesting location for round number 3. We're finally in an urban environment, Calamity.
Yep, South America.
Yeah, which doesn't always mean urban is better.
Yep.
So
it's usually still better. It just might still not be good.
Yeah, that's true. It's always nice to be on the edge of a town because you can find those highway and road names, which are nice. Often being stuck in the suburbs or downtown can be pretty rough.
Yeah, it depends a bit on the country as well. It's not all the same for South America. For example, Brazil is quite a bit better to be in the city. But in certain other countries, such as Peru, that we've got here, can be pretty annoying because town names or city names aren't plastered all over the place.
Yeah. Well, at least Max has seen a top level domain to get him in the right country. Closed, trying to read as much Spanish as he can.
I think there's an address down there on that sign that Closed is looking at to his right, but
it does appear so. But again, you got to know that city first.
Yeah, part of it is blurred out, and I have the feeling that the blurred out part is the city, but he's not going to try and read it.
Yeah. More town names on the Coca-Cola advertisement.
Yeah,
always an interesting part about being in South America is a lot of their road signs and government stuff has a lot of advertisement on it, which is unique.
Yeah, always annoying when you're like, oh, there's a sign. Oh, another advertisement. Oh, no advertisement. Nothing useful there.
Yeah. We do appear to be in at least somewhat of a large city. There's There's buses, there's universities, large advertisements. So we're in a small place. Max, there we go. Pueblo y Municipal. Maybe that has a name on it.
Maybe.
I don't really think it is. None of the major city names that I know in Peru stand out on that, so.
Mm.
And you always have the issue too where like, oh, that sounds familiar, but that's because it's a town in another South American country with the exact same name. And
Yeah.
so but Max does seem to think he has the city down. The neighborhood is Miraflores. I didn't see what town he zoomed in on. I was looking at the other screen.
And there it was on closed
okay.
screen. He saw it right there, but well, he didn't see it, but it was on his screen right there.
Yeah. Maybe going
Unfortunate.
a little bit too fast. Under 30 seconds to go. He's yet to be in a city, and so Max might pick up some points here on him. As there's a top level domain, so he's got a few seconds left to.
I mean, he's already in Peru anyway.
Yeah, last second adjustment to Cusco, but that's not gonna help. 4,143 points for close as time run out. He would needed to go further south for that one, and Max have his timer run out in a few. And
Somewhere
sure
here.
Yeah. You definitely feel like he's maybe feeling a bit of pressure. He's really moving his pin around, Max, and really not happy with anything.
Yeah, that could be for sure.
Yeah, this is for the playoffs. Like, I really have to make sure I do a good job. 4,999 points for him there. So he will claw back and take the lead from closed after that round. But yeah, again, Max having all the information, Calamity, and he finally does something with it.
Yep. Good round for him, for sure. Well, also quite a lot more points that he gained here than that he lost in the 2 rounds before. So he definitely ends up in a better position now. And Closed will have to hope that it's not too easy of a 4th and 5th round so that he can actually claw his way back and maybe still challenge for that spot.
Okay, let's see if he can do that indeed as we jump into round number 4. Max now with the lead, 14,700 to closed, 13,991. Quite the gap to try to come back from.
Max looking at the sky there for a bit. And Closed found the bus saying Strumica, which is a city in North Macedonia.
About to say, this looks awful familiar from last season. And both of these players were in Reddit League last season, so these city names and roads should be familiar to them.
It's a bit more southeast Closed.
There
Come
we
on.
go.
You can see it on your map.
Yeah, he's got time. It seems like he always starts going the wrong direction from where he needs to look. I don't know if he recognizes it as a town name, maybe. There's a town name for Max as well.
Maybe not from the side of the bus, but you know, the white card in the front of the bus in the window also said Strumica on it. So at that point, I think it's pretty safe to assume, even if you don't know it.
It's something you might want to look for on a map. Indeed, he'll go back to the start and head the opposite direction. Now heading the same way as Max.
Those are also kind of very typical North Macedonian signs, sort of on the side of the road on these stilts up there on those big banners.
Well, he still does not seem to know where he might be. There we go. Max finally opening the sign, and there we go. A little bit more familiar with North Macedonia from last season than Closed. Not a good sign if Closed wants to come back in this one. We are south of, or north of the city. We have to go south to get there.
Yep.
Go. Somewhere along that road, there's that Damajan town that Closed. I can't pronounce Cyrillic town names. As Calamity chuckles.
Yeah. I first chuckled about your pronunciation, and then I chuckled about you saying they're Cyrillic town names.
Actually, probably would do a better job if I tried to look at it in Cyrillic than in Latin, because the phonics are a little bit more clear sometimes.
Close up, coming up to that sign as well now.
There we go. That'll help him, hopefully. Got a minute left. Yeah, often when Cyrillic gets transcribed, a lot of SH, SCH kind of things get muddled. So it often can help, at least with those certain phonic groups, to read the original things. Kind of like that sign right there. It's a sh in the Cyrillic, but it's just, but it's only a S in.
It's not only an S,
Latin.
it has a thing above it that makes it into
a sh. It does. It is a little, very small. There we go.
I can read it, you've got no excuse.
Well, I'm also trying to watch two screens at once and try to see if anything interesting happens. And it just really seems like Closed doesn't remember North Macedonia from last season. It seemed to pay off for Max. He's like, oh yeah, I remember this stuff. Headed right to it. Closed jumping around with only 14 seconds left to go. Is not quite in the right spot.
He's not too far away though.
Yeah, he's not too far off. There we go. Move your pin. Move the pin. No, he doesn't move the pin. An ace for Max, and Closed will fall a little bit further behind. 4,945 points for him there. But yeah, Max finally doing stuff with the signs he's got, and Closed, his luck has kind of run out after those first two rounds.
Yeah, Closed to struggle a lot on the past two. So I think they're now equal in that they've both struggled on 2 rounds. It's just that Closed struggles were worse, so Max goes into round 5 with quite a big advantage.
Quite a big advantage, and we'll see if that's enough to carry him into Division 2 as we jump into this final round. And lush green countryside, a sign you can't read. There we go.
Yeah.
Small road.
Sign looked Dutch. I'm not sure anymore. Yeah. I don't remember the location. I was about to say, right
the only time I really see all these little canals following the roads everywhere and windmills is Netherlands. So there we go. We can get a little bit closer. Oh, and it disappears.
Yeah.
Gotta love when that happens. Closed, on the other hand, has found a good intersection. Hopefully these signs won't disappear on him. There we go. And 359. In Netherlands, those national numbers are very helpful. 3 digits means it's going to be small. They are well ordered, as well as a few town names around. So at least with a minute gone, Closed has got the better information. He doesn't really need to move from there, I think, Calamity, other than back to the start.
Yeah, for pinpointing, he'll need to do so for sure. But just for finding his general area, this should be plenty.
Yeah, and we have an exit sign for Arum. For Max, he's got to figure out where that is.
Closed is pretty close, I think, from what he's found.
Max is also not too far away. A Frisian state sign, not sign, flag, blowing there in the wind. So that will help if Max did in fact catch it. But I think they've already got some town names, so they don't really need that too much.
It did also say Zuidwest Friesland on the sign that had Arum above it, which is probably a bit more easy to recognize than the Frisian flag.
Well, apparently not for me, because I was
apparently
looking. I missed that, and I caught the flag in a sideward glance. So played too many medieval strategy games when you have to learn all those flags. But just under 2 minutes to go, and Closed has worked his way back towards the starting location, as has Max. Trying to figure out where they are. Closed will spend this time going the other direction.
Nice little bridge there.
Very good. That'll help. And I don't know, maybe the best chance is to see what this address is, maybe, or find this house, but
That's such a small road, though, that can't be sure
Yeah.
that's actually on the map.
But both of them are ever inching closer. And Max seems to think that might be a point of interest worth looking. Doesn't quite match. The river's got to be on the other side. Very nice move there. Happens to the best of us. River on the wrong side of the road. Keep that orientation correct. There we go. That looks like as good as it's going to get for Max, unless he finds something else. That should be about it. Closed, I think, is a little bit further south, but he's going to creep up to that location. But unfortunately, with Max being in the exact same spot, no matter what, they're gonna do equally well, and that will mean Max will be heading to Division 2 next season to join you, Calamity, unless you get promoted. I think we're going to be able to... No, we're not going to be able to cast your game because Furdock doesn't record. So an ace for both of them to finish up. And yeah, unfortunately, yeah, closed worst rounds were worse than Max's worst rounds. Try to say that 5 times fast. And that means that Max will take the win and the promotion along with it. But no shame for Closed at all. Very, very good season, having moved up from Division 4 and dominated with his other Division 4 classmates in Division 3 this season, Calamity.
Yeah, just got unlucky there. He did see, he did have Arequipa pretty big on his screen about 30 seconds before the end, but he just didn't see it. And that pretty much was the round that lost him the game there.
Yeah. Very rough margins, very slim at the top here in competitive GeoGuessr, and it sucks to be on the wrong side of them, but it feels oh so good when you're not. Yeah, so congrats again to Max, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye.